Jon Jones sends a scary warning to Floyd Mayweather, promises he would hurt Floyd if they ever stepped inside the octagon. In an interview with Senwai, Bones said, "I would like it if we kept it to MMA fighters trying out boxing. I think it's a lot safer for an MMA fighter to try out boxing. If you get a boxer inside the octagon, there's so many elements that they're unfamiliar. The head kicking, the body kicking, and the choking, and the arm bending, ankle twisting, and all that. It's a lot, and it can be really dangerous for Floyd Mayweather to join an MMA match, so I would strongly suggest he reconsider." He was then asked what would happen if he fought the 4-weight boxing world champion in the cage. Jones answered, "Floyd Mayweather weighs like 150 pounds. I'm like 220. I'd hurt Floyd Mayweather, but I'm a huge fan of Floyd. Let me say that." Khalil Rountree's coach explains how to beat an unstoppable striker like Alex Pereira. Khalil's head coach, John Wood, is still exhilarated by his student Merab Dvalishvili beating Sean O'Malley at UFC 306. While discussing Rountree's UFC 307 fight on the Inside Fighting YouTube channel, he remembered how Suga seemed like an unbeatable striker, but Dvalishvili exposed several holes in his game. You know, just like using O'Malley again. Sean was this unstoppable striker and this and that. There's layers to the onion that you have to peel back for the game plan. While Rountree probably won't rely on grappling like Dvalishvili to stifle his opponent's attacks, his coach sees plenty of opportunities to exploit. Wood admits that while Pereira's striking may appear awkward and unconventional, it's remarkably effective. Quote, "1, the guy's got hammers for hands. 2, I think he lulls people into that like, hey, I'm making mistakes and, come and get me. And then, boop, you're waking up on the canvas. No matter sometimes how ugly things might look, or maybe unconventional, but unconventional works just as well as conventional if you know what you're doing. That's my job, to make sure that we don't fall into any of those traps. You're going to see this, and his hands are down and he's leading with his face. He wants to get you, No, there's reasons he's doing that." Former UFC title challenger Chael Sonnen revealed an angry moment he had with former UFC champ Francis Ngannou inside of a parking garage. Chael, known for his big ego, surprisingly admitted that he got scared when he looked into the eyes of the Predator.
I end up face to face with Francis in a parking garage in Texas, and he's angry. To explain to you what that's like in that moment, while maintaining my pride and ego, it's a very interesting thing. I'm squared up with this guy. This is the biggest son I've ever seen. I've had that feeling a few times. I see this guy and he gives Rashad Evans a hug, and Rashad was tiny. I gotta look up to see him. It was Shaq. I think Andre and Shaq are both bigger than Francis, but there is something that changes when you're in a parking garage and he's pissed off. There's just something about it. We're staring at this guy. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna kick this guy right in the nuts in a second.
Renato Moicano responds to Paddy Pimblett's UFC call-out. Moicano has called for a fight versus Paddy for months, but after his TKO of Sun Denis on Saturday, Moicano was the one being called out by Paddy. "Please don't accept the fight," Moicano said at a post-fight news conference. "I'm gonna hurt you. I'm gonna elbow your skull. I think it's going to be a huge exposure. Right now, I'm looking for exposure. I'm looking for cameras because I've been in the UFC for 10 years. This year will be 10 years. 3 years ago, nobody knew me, and I always work hard. I always have put in the work, but it doesn't matter if you're the best fighter in the world, nobody knows. I want more cameras. I want more people talking about my name in MMA, because that way I can bring more attention, and I can make my case to fight for the belt eventually." Paddy isn't the only one on Moicano's radar though. Before Paddy's name was brought up, Moicano mentioned Dan Hooker as easy money. "Everybody is talking about how now you have 4 wins in a row. No, I have 6 wins in a row in the lightweight division," Moicano said. "I only lost to Rafael Dos Anjos at 160. That's not lightweight, that's a catch weight. Go to the top 15 and see somebody with 6 wins and 5 finishes. People cannot deny me anymore. I'm 35 years old. I don't have much time, so now it's time to go. I want to beat Dan Hooker or Paddy Pimblett or somebody else and fight for the title." Demetrious Johnson explains why Jon Jones isn't the Michael Jordan of MMA. In the eyes of many, Jon Jones is the greatest fighter of all time. He's done some incredible things in the sport, and later this year, he'll hope to cement his legacy even further when he battles Stipe. In doing so, he'll be defending his UFC heavyweight championship against the man who many believe is the best heavyweight ever. In a recent podcast appearance, Demetrious Johnson gave his thoughts on Jones being labeled the Michael Jordan of MMA. When you look at the later years of Jon Jones's career, those fights weren't as exciting. At the end of my career, I'm doing flying arm bars in a world title fight, right? If you look at whose skill set developed over time, I would say mine did. When you look at Michael Jordan, I felt like his skill set kept on developing. Is it fair to compare Jon Jones to Michael Jordan? Both are regarded as the greatest in their sports, with Jones dominating the UFC and Jordan becoming a basketball icon. Jones has proven his skills and adaptability in MMA, while Jordan's 6 NBA championships and competitive spirit have solidified his legacy. Both have faced controversies, but their performances speak for themselves. What do you think? Does Jones's dominance in MMA stack up to Jordan's legacy in basketball? Share your thoughts. Alex Pereira addresses the rumors about his potential middleweight return. In a short span, Alex Pereira has skyrocketed to UFC stardom, claiming 2 championships and securing a spot among the pound-for-pound elite. As Pereira prepares to defend his light heavyweight belt against Khalil Rountree at UFC 307, many are speculating about a future move to heavyweight. However, Pereira has hinted that a return to middleweight could be on the horizon, especially following Dricus Du Plessis' successful title defense against Israel Adesanya at UFC 305. In a recent interview with the Schmo, Poten revealed that his shift to the 205-pound division was primarily to avoid the grueling weight cuts. Quote, "I would like a fight with Du Plessis to be at middleweight," Pereira said. "I told everybody that I just needed a break from 185 from all those weight cuts. I feel good. I feel healthy right now." Pereira, a former middleweight and light heavyweight champion in Glory Kickboxing, made his UFC debut at UFC 268 as a middleweight. He quickly racked up 3 wins, setting up a title shot against his old kickboxing rival Israel Adesanya at UFC 281. Pereira claimed the middleweight belt with a dramatic 5th-round finish, only to lose it in a rematch at UFC 287 when Adesanya knocked him out. Following the loss, Pereira moved up to light heavyweight, defeating Jan Blachowicz at UFC 291 before capturing the light heavyweight title against Yuri Prochazka at UFC 295. Since then, Pereira has successfully defended his 205-pound title against both Jamal Hill at UFC 300 and Yuri again at UFC 303. Pereira's upcoming fight with Khalil Rountree at UFC 307 promises to be an exciting matchup. Pereira, fresh off his ascent in the light heavyweight division, will be defending his title for the 3rd time. Known for his explosive striking and knockout power, Pereira will be looking to showcase his skills against Rountree, who is also a powerful striker with a reputation for delivering devastating finishes. Rountree's aggressive style and ability to capitalize on opponents' mistakes make him a formidable challenge. Fans can expect a thrilling stand-up battle, as both fighters prefer to keep the action on their feet. With Pereira's experience and championship pedigree on the line, and Rountree eager to prove himself against the reigning champion, this fight is shaping up to be a must-watch event. Who do you think will come out on top? Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for daily MMA news.